Good morning, Team Alabama. Please go ahead and join me in reading in the Hunger Games. We are on page 100. Please join me on your Chromebooks on page 100, please. On the third day of training, they started to call us out of the lunch for our private sessions with the game makers. District by district, first the boy, then the girl tribute. As usual, District 12 is slated to go last. We linger in the dining room, unsure where else to go. No one comes back once they have left. As the room empties, the pressure to appear friendly lightens. By the time they call Rue, we are left alone. We sit in silence until they summon Peta. He rises. Remember what Haymitch said about being sure to throw the weights. The words come out of my mouth without permission. Thanks, I will, he says. You shoot straight. I nod, and I don't know why I said anything at all, although if I'm going to lose, I'd rather Peta win than the others. Better for our district, for my mother and Prim. After about 15 minutes, they call my name. I smooth my hair, set my shoulders back, and walk into the gymnasium. Instantly, I know that I'm in trouble. They've been here too long, the game makers. Sat through 23 other demonstrations. Had too much wine, most of them, and want more than anything to go home. There's nothing I can do but continue with the plan. I walk into the archery station. Oh, the weapons. I've been itching to get my hands on them for days. Bows made of wood and plastic and metal and materials I can't even name. Arrows with feathers cut in flawless uniform lines. I choose a bow, string it, and sling the matching quiver of arrows over my shoulder. There's a shooting range, but it's much too limited. Standards, bullseye, and human silhouettes. I walk to the center of the gymnasium and pick my first target, the dummy used for knife practice. Even as I pull back on the bow, I know something is wrong. The string's tighter than the one I use at home. The arrow's more rigid. I miss the dummy by a couple of inches and lose what little attention I had been commanding. For a moment, I'm humiliated. Then I head back to the bullseye. I shoot again and again until I get the feel of these new weapons. Back in the center of the gymnasium, I take my initial position and skewer the dummy right through the heart. Then I sever the rope that holds the sandbags for boxing, and the bag splits open as it slams to the ground. Without pausing, I shoulder roll forward, come up on one knee, and send an arrow into one of the hanging lights high above the gymnasium floor. A shower of sparks bursts from the fixture. It's excellent shooting. I turn to the game makers. A few are nodding approval, but the majority of them are fixated on the roasting pig that has just arrived at their banquet table. Suddenly, I am furious that with my life on the line, they don't even have the decency to pay attention to me. That I'm being upstaged by a dead pig. My heart starts to pound. I can feel my face burning. Without thinking, I pull an arrow from my quiver and send it straight at the game maker's table. I hear shouts of alarm as people stumble back. The arrow skewers the apple in the pig's mouth and pins in to the wall behind it. Everyone stares at me in disbelief. Thank you for your consideration, I say, and then I give a slight bow and walk straight toward the exit without being dismissed. Chapter 8. As I stride toward the elevator, I fling my bow to one side and my quiver to the other. I brush past the gaping AVOXs who guard the elevators and hit the number 12 button with my fist. The doors slide together and I zip upward. I actually make it back to my floor before the tears start running down my cheeks. I can hear the others calling me from the sitting room, but I fly down the hall into my room, bolt the door, and fling myself onto my bed, and then I really begin to sob. Now I've done it. Now I've ruined everything. If I'd stood even a ghost of a chance, it vanished when I sent the arrow flying at the game makers. What will they do to me now? Arrest me, execute me, cut my tongue, and turn me into an AVOX so I can wait on the future tributes of Pan Am? What was I thinking? Shooting at a game maker? Of course I wasn't. I was shooting at that apple because I was so angry at being ignored. I wasn't trying to kill one of them. If I were, they'd be dead. Oh, what does it matter? It's not like I'm going to win the games anyway. Who cares what they do to me? What really scares me is what they might do to my mother and Prim. how my family might suffer now because of my impulsiveness. Will they take their few belongings or send my mother to prison and Prim to the community home or kill them? They wouldn't kill them, would they? Why not? What do they care? Okay, guys, go ahead and add your facts at this time. We're going to stop there for today.